Why Africa will never catch up with the West. 1. Inadequate agricultural infrastructure. One of the main reasons why Africa will never catch up with the West is the lack of agricultural infrastructure. Africa covers 20% of the world's land area, but produces only 4% of vegetables and 1% of fruits for commercial export. Large quantities of vegetables, fruits, and grains could be grown in Africa, but this is currently not possible due to inadequate roads, poor agricultural practices, and inadequate processing and value creation. 2. Bad governance. Africa has long been ruled by dictators who exploit their countries in many ways. They have been involved in arms and drug trafficking for illegal money-making. Most African governments make most of their money from foreign aid from other countries, but the problem with this is that leaders sometimes steal or use it to their advantage. Corruption is also a problem in Africa and is associated with poor governance, often described as a disease. This is because government officials are bribed to build infrastructure or change laws to make more money. 3. Poor education. Many people in Africa live in poverty due to a lack of decent education. There is a problem with young people who drop out of school early to work and support their families. However, some children drop out because they cannot afford basic tools such as pens and books. The quality of education in some countries is also not good enough. Some teachers are poorly trained or not trained at all. 4. Lack of jobs and economic growth. Another reason for poverty in Africa is that there are few jobs where people can earn money. Employment opportunities are limited in many African countries due to the small economies. 6. Health problems. One of Africa's major problems is AIDS, which has killed many people in recent years. Access to adequate healthcare is also difficult in Africa, especially in rural areas. There is a severe shortage of medical facilities and doctors, making it difficult for many people living in poverty to obtain treatment. 7. Wars and crises. There are also quite a few wars in Africa that result in people becoming homeless and homeless. There are civil wars between tribes, ethnic conflicts, and conflicts with governments. Wherever there is a war on earth, it automatically becomes poorer. These wars often make the headlines and we read about them, but many conflicts take place out of the public eye and out of the media. Often families are forced to leave their homes because of war and violence, leading to further poverty in Africa. 8. Unjust trade structures. Another reason for Africa not catching up with the West is unequal trade relations between Africa and other countries. Wealthy countries can export capital to poorer African countries and make huge profits that do not benefit the people living there. In fact, these countries are price makers and Africa is a price taker, which means the West determines the price to buy from Africa and also the price to sell to Africa. 9. Historical injustices. In the past, many countries colonized Africa, resulting in the use of national resources for the benefit of other countries. This caused problems, among other things, because the people of Africa were disadvantaged, poor, and uneducated. 10. Economies of scale. Some African countries do not have economies of scale. Either they cannot produce enough goods for export, or they are too costly to compete in the international market. Mass production is a key component in international trading. Africa is still using medieval methods and means of production. This takes away its competitive edge in the markets. Unless Africa and its leaders rise and make a deliberate decision to transform themselves, it will forever be the continent that begs from the West and suffer from high-interest loans from both China and IMF Bank.
For more content like this and others, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.